Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking another look here at Solana, see what's going on. Of course, this is a request from one of my community members, Alexandria. Thank you very much for that, as well as other community members too, like my subscribers rather. They actually have been requesting I cover Solana. So we'll make sure to cover this and obviously much more. Ideally, we're going to be looking at dollar cost average targets because it is on the way down. Profit targets, honestly, for Solana should be inverse. In other words, you should be shorting this, of course, if you have the opportunity, with obviously whatever leverage works best for you and your risk tolerance. I teach all that, of course, in my trading academy. We have a community as well, which is fantastic. So reference that. CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. I also have a signal group too, where I share signals for every single trade that I take, so you can learn how to structure your trades effectively. The whole point and purpose is to make sure that we are careful with our investments and not going willy-nilly. Granted, there are some times you can get burned. I get burned too. Don't worry, it happens. The key is to get back on the horse and to get back effectively on the horse instead of just jumping on without a saddle. Anyways, I hope that makes some kind of sense to you and that you found benefit here, of course, today. So here's the thing with Solana. First of all, big picture, it's done some pretty good stuff. All right, it had a meteoric rise to fame. Now it's kind of trending back towards its average true range, which is right here in the range of about 22 upwards of $60. So we're probably going to see a price point between 22 and 60 for some time, just based on the fact that this being a previous resistance level here, right around, and I think I paraphrased, but you could say more so $57. You can see that working as a resistance level here recently. Okay, so again, it's close and concurrent with the Fibonacci retracement level at $60. So you could just say 57 to 60 will probably be a strong resistance level moving forward. As far as the support is considered, perhaps dollar cost average target, if you will, would be $37 because that is where the price wicked down here recently. We're probably going to revisit that again and likely continue lower because we're expecting Bitcoin to continue to the downside. We might actually even see that this weekend. That being said, if we look at this history, we can see in the support here, right about $23, there's an area in which the price was not willing to go any lower. 1, 2, 3 times. That happened last summer, of course, when Bitcoin crashed, for lack of better terms, May 19th, and took a while to recover. Okay, that was essentially when Bitcoin was struggling. So, as soon as Bitcoin stopped struggling, it did pretty darn well. A meteoric rise, continued higher, even higher than we were expecting. And now it's struggling. And the main reason why, too, is again, it's a profitable coin. You got to think about this. Most coins will also inevitably, after they've done this, they'll align themselves with Bitcoin. So this behavior here is mostly synonymous with Bitcoin. And that being said, we got to expect that if Bitcoin's going to have a bad day, Solana will do so as well. Okay, so just kind of get that in your head. No matter how great the fundamentals are on most coins, they will inevitably align themselves with Bitcoin, either before or after those significant increases where they actually deviate from it. Until we get there, we're a long ways away. Try not to be the kind of folks that say, okay, $42 is a good value. It's not going any lower because that's just a really low price. Okay, that's all well and good. You can dollar cost average a little bit, but do not take a long position and expect it to just turn around because it's low. Right, that's it's not ideal. Now, granted, we could be coming towards a double bottom. Double bottoms do happen where the price action kind of does one of these, like a W. That could potentially be a case, but I don't think we should, rely on a hope and a prayer. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, so again, recommend just setting some targets on the way down. Let's take a look at some of the standard targets or standard stuff. We're underneath all moving averages. That's very normal right now for most coins. There's only a couple that are over the 20 right now. We're testing 30 on the RSI as well. So if we lose that, we could potentially see that work as a resistance. And of course, we have that MACD convergence recently is dying off. So once again, really nothing here I see that is potentially bullish whatsoever. Obviously, we can keep looking at smaller time frames, but if you see the 4-hour consistently making lower highs, okay, as well as lower lows too. So, excuse me, if you kind of look at some of the obvious here, there's nothing that tells us that the price wants to come up right now. It's under pretty much every single resistance level. We got the price bouncing off of 30 on the RSI, which is potentially beneficial. This is one, I guess you could say, silver lining. A lot of times when you see a price point closer to 30 on the 4-hour at the RSI, it's usually a sign that it's going to recover. In other words, again, you cut down below here, and it came up. So this little rally, of course, was based on the RSI being overextended. We saw something very similar here too, where it came down, inevitably came up. But again, it's not going to do one of these, okay? That's just not realistic. So get that out of your head. Parabolic is not really the term of this year. It's maybe it was the word of the year last year, but this year it's not really all that existent. So again, try not to be a hopeful trader. Be a realistic trader, and let's not invest in something that is probably not going to continue to progress higher. Again, at least I don't see a price point over $60 anytime soon. It's going to be a little while. So again, if you get it at 42, it comes up to 60, great, nice little 30% profit. But on the same accord, that's not really what we're here for. We don't want to try to gamble. And the likelihood, again, of Solana coming lower is pretty high. But there is still potential for recovery, all right? So just keep that in mind. There's always, crypto does crazy, stupid things sometimes, and the bottom line is that you just kind of got to expect the unexpected. But if we look at the 1 hour, not much else to really disseminate except for the fact that we did hit a 9 on TD sequential, got a little reset, came up to a 5 here so far, but that does look like we might get stopped out there. So what I'm getting at here is that continuations 2 and 9, we saw 2 9s in a row. It does appear that Solana is becoming exhausted. So this is a potentially positive sign here in the stats that we might see something like this occur again, which this could have been it right there already, right? So if history is any indication, if we saw a 9 here followed by upwards of a 4 or a 5, we're at a 4 or 5 right now following a 9. So what's to stop it from continuing lower like it has before? Right? We'll probably see $37 retested in the near future. Again, a lot of this is pending Bitcoin. If we look at the Bitcoin, you can see it's struggling right now. It's on the struggle bus, and we just retested this key level support here right at about 28,700. So if we break down below that, which it looks like it really wants to do that, there's a strong chance that we're going to see Solana follow a very similar behavior. Okay. So I guess that's kind of where we're at there. DCA targets, just so you know, I would say 37 is a good starting point. Obviously, we'll probably see lower, but if you want to just do a small percentage there, that'd be fine. The second dollar cost average target would be $23, actually round number 24, because you never want to set your DCA targets right at the key level supports. You want to do just above, okay? So again, this being a Fibonacci retracement level at 37.23, maybe more, try so $37.50 or $38. And then same concept applies here. Instead of 23, make it 24, okay? So 37.50 and 24 might be appropriate DCA targets for Solana. So yeah, it's kind of where we're at there. I know it's not like the best news ever, but generally speaking, we shouldn't expect this to recover in the immediate future. Obviously, if Bitcoin decides it wants to shoot its way up, that's all well and good. We're probably not going to see that right now, though. Just bear that in mind. All right, that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for joining me here. If you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the site. Link in the description below. I look forward to working with you. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day and a safe weekend. We'll see you soon.